Sunshine, wild ones, it's Bernadette. I am here with your Pick a Card Daily Tarot reading for Wednesday, November 4th, 2020. And I just love the animal that's shown up today. It is the most charming, darling, but big animal that just captivates people when they see them in person or see pictures of them, and that is the moose. They're huge, mungus. And that's why it's important for you to pay attention to the message today, because why? It's huge, mungus. All right. So one of the things that I love to bring up about moose, when the card comes out or people like do a meditation, a spirit animal meditation, they're like, why did I see moose? Oh my gosh, there's a lot of really in-depth stuff that can come along with it. They're not as straightforward as you might think. They're not as simple as you might think. Alternatively, I know this is going to sound kind of weird, but alternatively, they are profound in their simplicity. So one of the things that just always really strikes me about moose is they really are gentle giants. You know, unless you are mucking about trying to, be somewhere near the mama's calves, or gosh forbid you tread on the territory of a male who, might have woke up on the wrong side of the forest or something, the woods. They really are kind of stick to themselves animals, do no harm kind of animals. And even though they get together for mating, they don't really get together too much after that. So moose can really teach you how to stand on your own 2 feet, how to be independent, but then come together and work with others to accomplish something, to breathe life into something, to nourish something. And their antenna, my gosh, I could talk for hours about their antenna, just the legend and the lore behind it, because their racks are enormous. I think I read one time that on a full-grown bull, just the rack itself can go 8 to 10 feet and can weigh 1,800 pounds, just the rack. When I think of that as an antenna, which of course I do, really all horned animals, you can think of that horn as like an antenna from, the heavens down to you, and then to you back up to the heavens. That's a hell of an antenna, y'all. That is some big, powerful, whichever way you want to go, and whatever way you want to listen to and from. That's some powerful stuff. But what makes it more powerful is, I don't know if you guys know this. It was, I don't know why, I was like last years old when I learned this, but moose, their eyes move independently, and they can be looking at you with one eye but be looking way over here with the other eye. So when you talk about being able to listen with that big of a rack, with that big of an antenna, and then you talk about being able to look here but see here, or look here, like almost 180 degrees, that's an animal that gets messages. That is an aware animal for sure. So one of the first things that I really encourage people to download about moose and moose energy and medicine is that your abilities in this moment are being broadened. They're getting bigger. Your ability to see, your ability to hear, whatever it is you want to see and hear. Now, a lot of you guys that follow me, and thank you for doing that and subscribing to my YouTube channel. I'm so happy to be helpful to you all. I know that you're on the path to doing shamanic work. You want to do psychic mediumship work. You want to do tarot readings, oracle readings. You want to work with the animal allies. Moose is a great helpmate for that. Just because moose can really take anything you're working on and just blow it up and just make it larger. And you can do that at your own pace, but it's a sign that you can make it as big or not as big as you want. The other, oh my gosh, again, I could just go on and on and on and on and on and on about moose, but again, I think of moose as very gentle giants. And so if your plan is to create a large impact on the world, to have a big footprint in the positive way, right? You can still maintain your compassion, your empathy, your kindness, And you can make yourself or whatever you're endeavoring to do as large or as little as you want, whatever those labels or parameters mean to you. I would encourage you today, it's a Wednesday, and that's a day that we bridge things, right? We bridge the first of the week to the remainder of the week. Solar plexus is the chakra that rules today, and Mercury is the planetary influence. And if you remember in mythology, Mercury was the messenger of the heavens. He brought the design, he brought the divine to the mortal world. It's like a center link. So when you think about the energy of today, and then you think about moose with their ability to see here, there, and everywhere, and their big, crazy, giant racks, and that's just the males. We'll get to the females in just a minute. It's a powerful day to start sewing things together, to start piecing things together, putting things together, and moving forward, moving forward. Now, just because you know the um, the antlers are more associated with males, don't think for 1 minute that the female is not as powerful in as many ways. She just sees things very differently. Now, her eyes do the same thing, they can accomplish the same thing. But when it comes to the other intuition, well, there's a story out there. I won't go through the whole thing. Um, I want to say it's Algonquin, and it has to do with the divine feminine, and it has to do with the Native Americans. Think they've got this great moose myth that has to do with moose creating uh, the feminine energy and the the male energy and coming together, and that's how everything got created. Okay, it takes two to tango, but at the end of the day, we're the ones that tote those puppies around, for 9 months or however long you gestate, and we're the ones that, let our bodies, our spirits be used as a vessel to, help other souls incarnate into this world. If that doesn't give you an intuition, I don't even know what else would. It's said in lots of different cultures, and I choose to believe this just because I think it makes the most sense to me. And I just think it's a really beautiful thing to believe that, we travel in our soul groups and then we decide as a group how we're going to come in and out of these lifetimes together and what we're going to do. So when you're talking about a mom that, gets pregnant and then gestates, just the conversation that she's having with the other side to say, okay, it's time to come in, the conversation she has while she gestates, which brings up a whole nother, thing for a couple glasses of wine and some candles on a Friday or Saturday night to talk about. Is the soul in the body when you're pregnant? Is the soul out of the body when you're pregnant? There are many, many, many theories about that. But at the end of the day, you've got a life inside of you that you can only communicate with telepathically, right? So that gives women the added ability to be completely comfortable with communicating with spirits that are not in the physical form. Or if they are in the physical form, you can't verbally talk to them and get a response back. They're hidden, or they're someplace else, or however you think about that. But that's a really strong ability to have, especially when moose is your helpmate, because that gives you a big ability to do that. I'll save it for another video, and it's only happened to me once. But through mediumship, I actually did communicate with an infant who never made it into this world. Her twin sister did, and that's who I gave the reading for. But her identical twin had to be removed in vitro, and that spirit, that soul, came to me to deliver very accurate messages to her sister, up to and including a spirit animal card, not of my deck. This was some years back, and I didn't have the arc at the time. And I'll never forget that story as long as I live, because it was such a powerful. I even draw a breath when I think about it now. Powerful doesn't even begin to cover it. Affirmation doesn't begin to cover it. Miracle, proof, none of those words cover it. That yes, life does go on, and yes, they are looking out for us, and yes, mediumship is a real thing. And yet, yes, 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 yes. So, as you're moving through this, it can be very helpful to you. Again, the shamanic path, the psychic medium tarot, whatever, can be very helpful to you to start working with moose energy because it can help you see a lot more and a lot more accurately than you might imagine. Now, when we some other things about moose that I love, especially because I live in Florida and all we do here is sweat, y'all. It's so dang hot in this place, and humid. So moose do not sweat, and they get in the water to cool themselves off, which to me is an immediate sign that okay, listen, don't sweat the small stuff. You don't even really have to sweat the big stuff because you can always submerge yourself in some cool water. And water is the element of the emotions. And so Moose really teaches us take a chill, cool off, examine the emotions, swim around in them for a little bit, see what you can do about clearing up that water and making it that crystal clear, beautiful mountain water. Or here in Florida, we have spring-fed rivers. Well, I mean, they do all over the world, but Moose has you. It's okay. It's gonna be okay. You're gonna make it okay. You're gonna see with your googly moose eyes how it's going to be okay. The other thing is, moose, man, they've got a power of smell is no joke. Now they've got ginormous nostrils, and that helps them take in a lot of smell. It's kind of like dogs with big ears, like Chihuahuas. They've got those giant ears that help them, hear things that maybe some other dogs might not hear. But that anytime I'm led to something, an animal that's got a really heightened sense of smell, because all animals do, it's a call for you to take the largesse of those nostrils, flare those puppies wide open, and smell opportunity, even if it's years down the road. When I was first told by the animal allies to start whatismyspiritanimal.com, not only was I like, what? You want me to start another website? Because I had so much time. But I did it because they kept showing me down the road. They wouldn't show me what, but they were like, look, it's got to start here. You've got to be willing to see the bigger picture. I'm like, I'm willing, you just ain't showing it to me. But over time, that then became the Arc Animal Tarot and Oracle deck, and it's becoming a book, and it's becoming other decks, and it's becoming other books. It's just it's bigger than I ever imagined, but for this particular thing. I've always imagined and dreamed of big business, which I've done. I've been fortunate enough to do, but in this lane, in this, metaphysical kind of place, nah, this is the first time, man. I'm learning as I go along, just like you are. So when you think of moose, think of what you need to smell. And that can be anything. It can be opportunity. Maybe you need to smell out a rat, in amongst your midst. Is somebody playing the dirty, rotten scoundrel rat kind of person? What is it that you need to smell? Honestly, if you'll just sit in quiet and you'll just imagine during a meditation that your snout starts to come out and get as long as a moose with those ginormous dinner plate sized noses, I bet you'll smell things just in your own house that you're like, how didn't I smell that before? It can be really powerful. In classes, I do all kinds of meditations with students that focus on just one of the senses, and working with the animal allies to create more of that, or even less of that, whatever that animal has that they want or don't want. So, I'm trying to think of anything else that I think could be really helpful for you in this moment, because it is about moose, but it's also about Wednesday and bridging that gap, bridging that gap. So the only one other thing I want to say about that is moose are really great adapters. Man, they can get along in the harshest environments. The only thing that they have a little bit of problem with is they're so tall that they've got to get to a place where, because they're vegetarians. I think they're actually vegan. Um, they've got to get to a place where the grass is tall so that they can eat the tops of the grass, which is cool because that's where the most nutrients are. But when grass is lower or it's been trampled over, they have a really hard time kneeling down to get to that. And that's a call to me that whatever is going on for you nutritionally, and that can mean in your body, it can mean your mind, it can mean your spirit. I don't think you're getting enough sustenance. I don't think you're getting enough green. I don't think you're getting enough that is going to nourish. Thank you, nourish. I don't know why that word was so hard for them to send me. Um, you're missing out on some nourishment that really should only come from the top. That could be a metaphor for, maybe it's time for your boss to say, hey, you've done a really good job. You've been loyal. You've got this nobility about you. You're agile. You've got great instincts. You've got courage. Now, I don't know how many bosses are going to say that, but you might need that nourishment from, the person or a company that can supply it. You might need it from yourself. Animals are really self-assured critters until man gets a hold of them. Humans get a hold of them. Other than that, they just are who they are. And moose ain't trying to be anybody else but a moose. And so, they just, I don't know, they just teach us such strength and bravery and standing our own ground and not letting other people knock us off our path, and listening the whole while and doing it with compassion and gentleness until you back them into a corner. That's like most animals, though. So, well, meaning most animals will come at you if you back them into a corner. Obviously, there are animals out there that are a lot more aggressive just to be aggressive's sake, like those, say, rattlesnakes or hippopotami. So, if you are thinking that moose has come to you today as a spirit animal, and if you don't know the difference between spirit, totem, and power animals, the link to my video is in the comments section. It's trying to tell you to stand your ground, stay true to yourself right now. Right now, see what needs to be seen, hear what needs to be heard, pardon me, and do it. If you're adopting moose as your totem animal, I love you. You're just a big thinker and a big doer with some great inner strength. You're just always full of joy. Good for you. And if you want to invoke moose as your power animal, listen, the terms spirit, totem, power animal are really interchangeable. The only reason I use them the way that I do is that the animal allies downloaded into me a new system for working with their energies, kind of a more organized way of thinking about it. But you could take any of the attributes of moose that I've mentioned at the moment, or in this Pick a Card Daily Tarot reading video. And when it comes to moose symbolism and meaning, I'm doing this because that's how I hear spirit. I know I look like the RCA dog. Is I just keep hearing courage and valor, really kind of the same things, but like courage and strength. There's something about, for the majority of you out there who are watching this reading today, there's something on this Wednesday about bridging that gap between the first part of the week, the last part of the week, the divine to the mortal world. It's really calling for you to have courage. It's really calling for you to be noble. And nobility really means forgiving people their transgressions. We have a saying in the South, you can't shoot the village idiot, right? Don't shoot the village idiot, because on another day, someone might think that you're the village idiot. You don't want them shooting you, right? So don't shoot the village idiot. Stand tall. Stand, in your own convictions. Other people don't have to agree with them. They don't have to like them. It's not up to you to care, really. And so, again, you might even find that all this whole reading could have been wrapped up in one sentence at the very beginning where you say, or where I would say, don't discount simplicity. Take a much deeper look into the things that you think are very simple and you might just gloss over. Take a harder look down in there. What undercurrents are running around in there? What nuances are there waiting for you to help you and support you and guide you, right? Okay, I hope this has been helpful. Please pick up your copy of the Arc Animal Tarot and Oracle deck. There are 100 cards in the main deck, 49 extra cards available for you to meet 149 animal allies. And subscribe to my YouTube channel so you get your notifications. You never miss out on a daily reading. And as always, my mooses, my nieces, stay wild.